legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see, yeah. I will reach my destiny, yeah. I don't need your permission, yes, I'm on a mission, I'll win. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole...
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Cheryl Wood, host of Impact the World Radio. And we're here every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And we're always excited to bring you just a phenomenal array of guests who are very diverse in how they're impacting the world with their unique gift. Now, of course, you guys know that this is the month of March. And so for the whole month of March, we are spotlighting phenomenal, amazing, trailblazing women because it's Women's History Month. Yes. So, you know, last week, woo, was nothing but fire. We had Nicole Walters. We had Avis Jones DeWeaver, Arsha Jones. It was fire last week. Well, guess what? It's going to be fire again today because we have 4 amazing women who are absolutely walking in their divine assignment and in their unique gifts. And it's our privilege to bring them to you, to introduce them to you. We want to shout out all the folks who are tuned in live on Facebook Live. Hey guys, welcome. I want to say welcome to Kern Cherry, all the way from, I don't know if you're in Biloxi, but I know you're in Mississippi. So I'm just going to shout out Biloxi, Mississippi. Welcome to Karonda Fleming, Natalie Brown, Wendy, Mitchell Waddell, Bianca Fly, Kimberly Seabrooks, Leilani Wells, Tan Williams. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, Denise, thank you for being here. Guys, if you would share this out with your tribe, because I believe when you get access to empowering and informing and educating content, that you should share it out with someone else. So I'm going to jump right in because I want to make sure I give adequate time to this beautiful lady who's sitting to my left. Her name is Ashley Tuck. And Ashley Tuck is the founder and editor-in-chief of, check this out, y'all, Will Drink for Travel. It is a blog that combines her love of traveling and seeing new places with her love of unique and native spirits. She hails from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
Girl, you know I'm born and raised Baltimorean.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, honey.
Hey.
But lives and works in Washington, D.C. Traveling has become her passion in recent years, with her favorite destinations thus far being South Africa, Tanzania, and Italy. Her favorite drink? Well, it depends on the day. When Ashley's not traveling or out on the town in D.C., she's usually curled up on the couch watching all things reality TV. What a great, fun life. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So talk to us about this blog and how you got started with the blog and what your intention is with the blog.
So I started the blog in 2014. I was heading to Tanzania for 2 months, and I wanted a way to kind of keep my family and friends abreast of what I was doing, you know, while I was there. And I kind of started seeing, you know, there was travel blogs out there showing people how to travel and what they were doing. And I thought, why can't I do that too?
Right.
And especially at that time, there weren't very many women of color doing this. And so I wanted to kind of put my voice out there by doing something that I love to do, which is drinking. So I started Will Drink for Travel, and I've just been keeping up with it ever since.
That's fantastic. So 2 months. So is that typically how long when you're going somewhere, do you stay that amount of time, or is it shorter?
So I actually work full-time. I work for the U.S. Agency for International Development. And with that, we have offices all around the world, and that specific trip was for 2 months. And so I wanted a way to kind of show my family and friends that not only can I work, but I can have fun on nights and weekends also. I knew I would be going to the Serengeti and Zanzibar and all these amazing places. And I wanted to show people that Africa wasn't what you saw on TV.
Right. And so let's talk about that. I have a potential opportunity to go to Africa in a couple months, and I'm praying that God, you know, works that out for me.
Yes.
So because I'm really excited about that opportunity. But we do kind of, some of us have a concept in our mind of what South Africa is like, without even having ever gone. So tell us, clarify for us what your experience was in South Africa and what maybe some of the misconceptions are or myths.
South Africa is lit. Like I love it there. It's like one of my favorite places. I've been to Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban, and each city has its own kind of vibe. I like to compare Cape Town and Johannesburg to Miami and DC. Johannesburg is like the business center.
Right.
It's where people go to work and make money. Cape Town is like a vacation destination. I mean, you land at the airport, you come out of the airport, and you're like, where am I? Like, you feel like you're on a Caribbean island. It's so beautiful. It has the mountains, the water. It's just such an amazing city. And it's really modern. I think people sometimes forget that, you know, people live well in other places besides the United States.
That is such a poignant statement that you just made.
And the food is great. I mean, they have such a great culture, and people want to show you their culture. There are several tribes in South Africa, and I've met several people, and, you know, they are very proud of who they are, and they want to share that with you.
That is fantastic. I love that. You're making me even more excited. I'm like, I got to get my coins together so I can get to the South Africa trip. That sounds fantastic. I did hear that Johannesburg, which is where I would be going, is very industrialized.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, kind of more of a business district.
Yes.
And she's like, you know, the person who's talking to me who's been there several times is like, it ain't what you think. It is not like what you imagine with, you know, dirt roads.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
like
there are some rural areas.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, that's here. We have rural areas where it's not built up. So it's, I mean, it's the same concept.
I love it. All right. So then, do you feel like there are any challenges to being an avid traveler? Or is it just all, it's just fun in the sun and it's just good and there's no challenges?
I mean, of course there are challenges with everything. I would say for me, traveling for extended periods of time, you know, you kind of miss home sometimes. You miss your family, your friends, you miss things. I miss my godchildren's birthdays and christenings and all these different things. But at the same time, I feel like I'm gaining these life lessons, and you know, I really learn a lot about myself when I travel. And so that really kind of helps me to keep going. Another challenge, perhaps, sometimes traveling as a single woman, you know, you encounter a lot of different people, and your gut really plays a big role in your perception of the world. And that's what I tell women all the time. Like, go with your instincts, because they will never lead you astray.
That's so true. Usually when you follow your instinct, it does guide you in the right direction. And I mean, just the other day I was saying something and my gut was telling me one thing and I went in the opposite direction. And sure enough, at the end of it, I was like, see, you should listen to yourself.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes you just got to listen to yourself. So when you go to these places, do you go with do you hire a tour guide? How do you determine which activities or excursions that you participate in? Is it based on just what you enjoy the most, or is it something where people say, oh my God, you got to do this?
I think it's a combination of everything. Usually, if I'm going to a place like Rome, for example, you want to see the Colosseum, you want to see the ancient ruins.
Right.
But when I travel, I also like to get to know the culture through food and spirits. I think that's like one of the best ways you can get to know the local people, you know, without the touristy kind of aspect. And then, you know, Google. I love to Google and see kind of what other bloggers have done when they've gone there.
That's a great idea.
Yes. Follow the travel bloggers, because they, you know, will show you the different things that they've done, you know, different tours that are available. So it's kind of like a mixture of everything. And if I have a friend or if I make a friend, you know, in a country, I love seeing it from their perspective. You know, they take you to places that you are off the beaten path that you would never see as a tourist.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah, my family and I, we had an opportunity to travel to India last year. And it was amazing. But just like you were saying, to follow people who have already been there and the bloggers, I did so much due diligence beforehand. I knew exactly what to put in my bag. I knew what to eat, what not to eat, where to go, what the big tourist spots were, all of that, what the expectation was of the people. It did prepare me very, very well. And sure enough, we went. We didn't have any problems with, you know, because we didn't eat certain things. And so we were fine, where other people, they weren't fine. Like, you got to do your due diligence beforehand. So then what's one of the most daring activities maybe that you've done while you've been on travel?
I am kind of an adventurous, so I've done quite a few things. I would say in Zambia, I went to Devil's Pool, which is it's one of the largest waterfalls in the world and widest. It's wider than Niagara Falls, actually.
Wow.
And they have this edge at the waterfall. It's called Devil's Pool. It's like right at the edge of the waterfall, and you can swim up right to it. And so I kind of leaned out praying, but that was such an amazing experience, and kind of helps me to challenge myself.
Yeah.
I also went parasailing in Cape Town, which was amazing because, as I said, it's such a beautiful place. So to see it from the sky,
Now, about how far is Cape Town from Johannesburg? Do you know?
It's about a 2-hour flight.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's not
so it's not bad, and
it's
fairly cheap to fly.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I love it. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of travel. I love, especially exposing my children. I'm a mom of 3, so I love exposing my children to different cultures.
Yes.
And I want them to grow up knowing that where you live at, that's just like such a small part of the world and piece of reality. And I want you to see the whole, like the world. Yes. So I constantly preach that to my kids. So when you think about, traveling, talk about maybe the bigger picture of it and how you feel that it can impact like other people. People who maybe they're sitting on their couch and was like, I don't want to get on a plane and I don't want to. Like, why would you encourage people to travel more?
I think it gives you an opportunity to get outside of yourself. I think a lot of times we are so focused on ourselves and our own communities where it really gives you an opportunity to see how other people live. Mm-hmm. It really gives you an opportunity to, be thankful, kind of
talk about
the
gratitude,
things that we do have. But just to see how other people live. Actually, my mom and I have this conversation all the time. She does not like to travel as much as I do, and she kind of cringes at some of the things I've done and some of the places I've gone. But I've really kind of talked to her about, seeing how other people live. Like, it's not, the media gives you a version kind of what they want to see, kind of this doom and gloom, the sick babies, and, and it's not all like that. Yeah. So it really broadens your perspective and broadens your world so that you can really appreciate who you are and what you do have and where you do come from.
Yeah, it was the same when we went to India. Some of our family members actually were like, y'all sure y'all want to go there? Yeah. It's dangerous and this and this and this and that. And it's like, I'm going to see it. I want to see it for myself.
I mean, everywhere is dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere has
you can be
issues.
Anywhere and something happen. But I love that you talk about the gratitude piece because you do see how other people live, and sometimes that can shift your entire perspective of life.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I loved about my kids going to India was, India is it's very poverty ridden, and for my kids to see little kids out on the street and just kind of like picking up coins and stuff off the street, and the way that they, some of the housing developed. I mean, it was very eye-opening.
Yes.
And then we went into some of the like the little marketplaces where temples are, and there are people who are, begging just for something to eat.
Yes.
And so I always use that to reinforce to my kids how blessed they are, because then you come back here kind of to the States.
Yes.
And you spoiled, and you're used to gumming through the drive-through and getting what you want when you want, and it's
and
like,
you realize those little problems, those little problems are not as big as we think they are.
Absolutely. Now, has there ever been a trip that you didn't enjoy so much? Maybe because, I don't know, maybe because the flight was too long, or maybe because you ate something bad, or you did an excursion that wasn't so successful or so fun.
I would probably say my trip to Haiti was a little difficult for me. I don't want any hate mail from any Haitians out there.
We ain't doing that on the show. We ain't doing that, y'all. Stop playing.
But I spent some time in Port-au-Prince, and it's just very difficult. They haven't quite recovered completely from the earthquake in 2010. So there's a lot of people in such a small area fighting over, not a whole lot of resources. So that was a very difficult trip for me. But once I got outside of Port-au-Prince and I went to Jacmel and Cap Haitian and kind of some of the outer areas, Haiti is so beautiful, and people should really consider it as a destination, travel destination, because it's just so beautiful. The water, the people, the culture, it's really amazing.
Yeah, I love that you're so well traveled. Like, thanks. I want to be like you when I grow up, girl. So what's one place that's on your bucket list that you haven't been to yet?
I would say Sri Lanka. I know that's so random, but it's an island in the Indian Ocean, and there's something for everyone. There you have adventure, they have water, great beaches, mountains, rainforests. So I'm really dying to get to Sri Lanka and maybe some other kind of East Asian places while I'm there.
Yeah. Now, do you have any rule of thumb about when you travel? Like, are you the type where you're like, okay, because it's going to be so long, I have to go first class, or I have to get off the plane and not take the direct 18-hour flight there? What are kind of some of your rules of thumb for your own personal traveling?
So I'm really into going where you can kind of get to for cheap. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to go to Italy. Italy is not, always the cheapest to get to. But if you keep an eye on the flight deal, that's a website you can go to for cheap travels. If you're open to any destination, you can get to Abu Dhabi for $200 if you can catch the fare. So I'm really big on being open and not having like a specific destination in mind. If you want to travel the world and you want to see things, be open to the flight deals that may come up. I've been to Iceland. I had no desire to go to Iceland. I mean, I hear it's beautiful, but it wasn't like on my bucket list. It turned out to be one of my favorite places because it was just so beautiful. The people were super welcoming. Even as a woman of color, I felt like they were very nice and hospitable to me. So just being open. And then as I said before, go with your gut instincts. I feel like I've saved myself a lot of trouble by, just following my intuition.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. So then when you travel, are you the person who, I love being open, first of all, open to, not saying, oh, this is where I want to go, but kind of looking at what is most conducive.
Yes.
A lot of times for your budget.
Exactly.
Come on, your coin.
Yes.
Got to stretch it
Very
as far
important.
as you can,
Yes.
right? I love that. I'm actually I'm gonna implement that in my own life. Like I've never heard anybody articulate that. So I'm gonna look at those because I do do the flight deals, but I'm always looking for something specific.
Right.
So I think if I open myself up, that may take me to other parts of the world that I've never been to. But when you travel, are you how some people, they're like, okay, I want to stay in the huts with the people, but then other people are like, no, I gotta have all-inclusive hotel, round the clock spirits. What's kind of your thing that like it's like, oh, this is mandatory when I go and I travel?
I tend to prefer hotels over like an Airbnb, let's say, just because I like, especially as a woman traveler, I like the safety and security of that.
Yeah.
I also just like knowing where I'm going to lay my head at night or like feeling good in that place because I've been to some very shady hotels in the past and that has really kind of caused me to be like, I'm going to pay a little more for this comfort and security. But at the same time, I do feel like there is a market for people who want to stay in Airbnbs. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I've stayed in those as well. I tend to kind of do what that country is known for. So, for example, I went to Cartagena, Colombia, and we stayed in kind of an Airbnb just because we wanted to stay in the walled city. We wanted to kind of be in that local kind of flavor. And so, that's just something that we wanted for that experience.
Right.
But if I went to, let's say, South Africa, I tend to stay in hotels just because that's my preference.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a hotel girl for sure.
Yeah.
I tried an Airbnb, and this was in the U.S. I tried an Airbnb in New York City. I was like, no, I need a hotel. I need somebody to bring me some towels and some washcloths.
I do love the convenience of a hotel.
For me, because I don't travel all the time, when I do get to travel, and typically it's I'm either traveling for my business as a speaker, so they usually handle the arrangements. But personally, when I'm speaking, and personally when I'm traveling just for my own pleasure, it's like, I want it to be fun and enjoyable and relaxing, and I want it to be completely different of what's at home.
Exactly.
I don't want to have to clean up. I don't want to have to straighten up.
It's nice being able to,
yes,
put your towels on the floor and have somebody else pick them up.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Especially if I'm traveling with my family, because, girl, 10-year-old and 11-year-old boys, it's not cute if you do not have somebody coming in there cleaning up the room. I'm just saying. All right, so I want us to kind of finish out by you, first of all, telling us how we can connect with you, how people can connect with you and follow your work and read your blog.
You can find my blog at willdrinkfortravel.com. I'm on every platform, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is Will Drink for Travel. Email me, Ashley at willdrinkfortravel.com. That's ASHLEE at willdrinkfortravel.com. I tend to answer any questions. I try to, help people in their travel journey as much as I can. So yes, I would love to hear from you.
So have you ever had any, companies to reach out to you about like sponsoring you because of that, just that title alone, Will Drink for Travel? Like, Have you ever had any companies reach out?
I've worked with several brands, whether it be here in the DC area. I've worked with a lot of restaurants in the area, travel and tourism boards. I've gone on press trips. So it's really kind of blossomed, and taken me all over the world.
Well, I love it. I just think it's such a fun brand.
Thank you.
And I think it's so creative.
Thanks.
And not to mention you're traveling the world. Come on now. How can that not be fun?
Gotta love it.
So look, I want you to finish these statements. You ready? Just whatever comes to your mind first.
Okay.
All right, number 1. As a smart traveler, you must never leave home without
your electronic devices and their chargers.
Yeah, your chargers.
Yes.
I got it. All right, number 2. For any traveling experience to be unforgettable, always make sure you
eat and drink locally.
Mm-hmm. And then last but not least, the most enjoyable traveling experiences are the ones where you
are open.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's been such a joy to have you here.
Thanks for
chatting
having me.
with
This was
you.
fun.
Will Drink for Travel.
Yes.
Make sure you follow her all across the social media platforms. Connect with her. Look at what she's doing. Like, some of you need to live vicariously through Ashley because maybe you're not able to travel as much.
Yeah.
And I mean, just listening to all the places where you've traveled just today, it's like amazing and mind-blowing. But thank you for being with us and sharing your unique thing about you. I love that you are so world traveled.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. You gotta take me with you sometimes. It sounds like we have a caller, and so I'm gonna open up the line. Hello, welcome to the show. It's probably somebody who thinks that, So sometimes people call in, they think they can listen to the show. You have to listen to the show through voxwave.com, VOXWAV.com. But if you have a question and you want to talk to one of our guests, then you can call in on the line, which is 240-719-2560. So we're going to wrap up now with the amazing Ashley Tuck, and then we're going to bring on our next guest right after this commercial break.
Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. I will reach my destiny. I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. strategy, and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough, and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. Yeah. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say. Say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah.
All right, and we are back. Again, if you missed our first segment with Ashley Tuck, you want to make sure that you go back and you watch the replay. But we have been in here cracking up at Mr. Jeffrey Tyler, who is cray-cray, but we're going to have him come back on the show for his own segment.
Yeah.
And he is Miss Jennifer Lucy Tyler's hubby, and he has just had us in here cracking up pretty much the whole time that he's been here. Great energy.
Yes.
You guys know I vibe
Y'all
off of
know.
really, really good energy. So I'm going to introduce you to Miss Jennifer Lucy Tyler in just a moment. But first, let me thank our partners who make this show possible. First of all, our platinum sponsors or partners, Cherie M. Good, who is the founder of the 8th Annual Recharge Health, Wellness, and Fitness Expo. And that's happening in just a few weeks now on Saturday, April 14th from 10 to 3 at the DoubleTree by Hilton in Pikesville, Maryland. If you want more information on that, here's the beautiful thing. It's free. Free. You can bring your whole family and you can exercise and taste healthy food samples, and you can come and listen to workshops about how to take care of your health and wellness. And so you want to go to rechargenow2018.eventbrite.com for all the details and just to register, but it is completely free. Rechargenow2018.eventbrite.com. Thank you so much, Cherie, for being one of our platinum partners. Another platinum partner is Ladrine Peterson, who is just doing such phenomenal work in the world. She is a career and business strategist, and she helps turn dreamers into doers. But one of the things that she has embarked upon over the past couple months is this youth vision board party. And I'm telling you, I had the privilege of attending one this past Saturday where my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, Jayana, was the keynote speaker. And I'm just telling you, it was such a beautiful sight to have all these kids between the ages of 10 and 16, I believe it was, or 10 and 14, to come into a space and do their own vision boards and have their own dreams and talk about it out loud and not feel like they have to be ashamed of who they want to become or what they want to do. And so she did a phenomenal job along with her partner, Ida Robinson. So I just want to give shout out to our platinum partner, Ladrine Peterson. Her next vision board party for youth is going to take place March 31st in Virginia. If you want more information, and if somebody could post this, there's Ladrine. Hey, Ladrine, I'm excited about our future. Absolutely. Ladrine, if you could post in the Facebook feed the link where people can get registered for the next vision board party. I'm going to share it here. It's Speak Life VBP, PY. Why do I always do that? I always put the P in the P. Okay. Speak Life VBP, P, Youth Edition. .eventbrite.com. Why you couldn't make that easier for me, Ladrine? I'm just saying. Speak Life VBPP Youth Edition .eventbrite.com. And if you have questions, just look her up on Facebook and send her a message through Instant Messenger on Facebook, Ladrine Peterson. But thank you for being one of our amazing platinum partners. And then our gold partners, Amina McWhirter, who's the founder of Love by the Handles, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that serves individuals in transition. Their goal is to provide gifts of love and financial support for individuals who are in transitional stages in their life. I love her. When I say she is destined for the work that she does, I have seen her in action. I have seen the way she transforms these women's lives. And it is, I always tell her all the time, and she laughs at me. So every time I see her, I'm like, I could never do the work you do. And that's because it wasn't for me. It's not destined for me. I have my own work I'm intended and born to do, and every one of us do. And that's why we do this show, so that we can spread light on everybody's individual gifts and talents and their divine assignment. So Amina, founder of Love by the Handles Incorporated, is actually going to be hosting her first benefit gala, celebrating 5 years that she's been doing this work. 5 years. And that's going to be on Thursday, April 5th. There's going to be a dinner, there's going to be a DJ, and a silent auction. All you have to do is go to lovebythehandles.org to get more information. And last but not least, Miss Robin Rogers, who is a lifestyle and image expert. Everybody like, oh, Robin. I love Robin. She's amazing. She's a lifestyle and image expert who helps women to discover greater self-confidence and reflect that confidence through their inner and outer image. And she also is going to be hosting her second annual symposium. It's called the Whole Woman Symposium, September 8th from 10 to 5. You can go to the wwb2018.eventbrite.com. The WWB for Whole Woman Symposium, wwb2018.eventbrite.com. So thank you guys. We cannot do this without you. We appreciate you so much. And we got to shout out all the folks who are joining us on Facebook Live. I've shouted out some of your names, but we also want to welcome Raquel Smith Divine. How are you, sis? Lynette Jackson, thanks for being here. Ladrine Peterson, Charnay West, thanks for being here. Ruby Freeman, thank you for being here. And Tammy Turner, Courtney Flowers, Tanita Marie, Kimberly Cleveland, thank you guys for being here. And we have to shout out one last person, Tammy Turner. Every time you hear that music playing and y'all hear me, see me snapping my fingers and singing, that playtime is over. That is our anthem song, if you will, our anthem, our theme song for the show. But it was written and produced and performed by the amazing songstress Tammy Turner. And if you know anything about her, she actually was a finalist on Sunday's Best. And she's performed everywhere. The Kennedy Center. I mean, there's no place I don't think that she hasn't performed yet here in the local DMV region. So connect with her, look her up on Google or look her up on Facebook and find out some of the amazing things that she is doing. One more thing I want to announce, and I have been holding back on announcing this, but I just, you're giving me inspiration because you're so positive, and I love seeing your stuff that you do on Facebook and just how you're changing the world. And you guys know I've been talking a lot about this journey that I'm on. I haven't really publicly shared the journey. I just kind of been giving little hints and clues. But I feel like this morning I woke up and it was almost like just God was saying, it's time to share. It's time to share. And I was like, I don't want to share yet. You know how you be debating with God? Yeah. Like, But somebody must need to hear it because I didn't want to share it. And today I'm sharing it. So I'm going to hold up this sign about something just amazing that has been happening in my life so that everybody can see. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Bam! Can they see that? Can you zoom in on that?
We're going to get that.
Boop, boop, boop. I'll show it to y'all in a minute, Facebook Live. Y'all see that right there? Can you see that? That's a little fuzzy, but that's all right. Better. All right, let me show y'all. Y'all see that? Oh, my God.
That's so
That
awesome.
is my truth. So January 2nd, I started a new program regimen. I actually hired a physician, and I was like, look, this weight got to go this year. And I always say I want to release it, not lose it, because I don't want to find it again. So I was like, I need to release some of this weight, and I got to stop talking about it. And really, I think the connector for me this year was realizing that it was going to be hard, and accepting and embracing that it was going to be hard. And sometimes we run from what we want because it's going to be hard, and we don't want it to be hard.
Yeah.
We want it to be easy, or we want certain parts of it to be hard, but not other parts. So I didn't mind going to the gym and working out and that being hard. I didn't mind that part. But I did mind having to change the way I eat. I was like, no, I'll just work out. But you cannot outwork a bad diet. That's the reality. And that's why I've stayed stuck in the same space for the past 3-4 years, even though I've been talking about releasing weight. Well, guess what? This year I came in with a different mindset that, look, chick, you're going to have to change the way you eat. So I hired a physician to get a plan of action. Look, tell me what to eat, how to eat. So since January 2nd, I have been on a no carbs, no sugar diet. Girl, y'all, look, I ain't done. So pray for a sister because somebody.
Carbs are my weakness.
Look, sometimes I want a piece of bread so bad, I just yell out, I'm like, I just want a piece of bread. Like literally at least once a day I yell that out. I just want a sandwich. I just want to bite the donut. Right? It is the hardest thing because you figure I have created this pattern for the past, 24 years or so. Let's just say when I was 20, right? 24 years, a certain pattern of eating, what I want, when I want, fried, whatever it is. And then to shift that and say, okay, I'm going to completely eliminate all of this goodness from my life, but knowing that it's adding to my life. And I think that was the reality that I had. And I want to set a great example for my children. So as of January 2nd, I went and got weighed in yesterday. I go weigh in every Tuesday. And I love because my kids always wait for me to, as soon as I pick them up from school, they're like, Mommy, how'd you do? How'd you do? How did it go? And I'm like, I don't even expect them to remember that, but they are so excited for me. And so I have officially released 31 pounds, and I am starting this new hashtag I am the priority.
I love it.
Hashtag I am the priority. You know why? Because guys, in my life, I am so not going to get emotional about this. But in my life, I've just been making everybody else a priority. My clients are a priority. My husband is a priority. My kids are a priority. And I'm like, you know what? When you going to get on the schedule? And this year, I just made a decision that I'm going to be the priority. So hashtag I am the priority. Thanks, guys, everybody who said congratulations. Thank you. When I went to try on a dress the other day because I was on the news with Good Morning Washington yesterday, so I had to go get a dress, and it was 2 sizes down. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I want no bread. I want no bread.
That's when it hits you, when you try on the new outfit and you realize, okay, I can go down a size.
Snap. Because sometimes it seems hard for you to see, because especially when you have a big chunk that you want to release. So my goal, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, because I don't like to put pressure on myself, but my goal for the year is to release 100 pounds. That's my goal by December, which will be my 45th birthday.
It's doable.
And I know I can do it. I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay committed to it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I had to go get a journal book because my emotions were all over the place. I was smiling one minute and angry the next minute. And I just think it was the hormones of not having the sugar and the stuff, the junk that I normally fuel my body with. So now I'm learning how to fuel my body with healthy, good things that give me the energy to do the work that God has assigned for me to do. So thank you guys for letting me share that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll probably do a Facebook Live on that later tonight. But now let me get to my guest who has been sitting here patiently, the one, the only, the amazing, the dynamic, Jennifer Lucy Tyler. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. Come on now. One of the most uplifting and empowering voices for any woman with a desire to overcome odds, grow in Christ, and be who God called them to be is this woman. Jennifer's journey began with a few attempts at the corporate world, but I love this. After a while, she decided to leave that behind. She was like, no, I can't, nobody can employ me. I got to step out on faith through entrepreneurship. Over the course of 5 years, she has become a 7-figure earner with one of the top direct sales companies in the world. She's also the author of 3 phenomenal books: Dry Tears, A Woman's Guide to Overcoming. Oh my God, check this one out. 101 other things to do other than have sex, hump, bump, and grind. And her 3rd book, which is her latest project, Be Your Own #Relationship Goals, and that's volume 1. Since 2006, her influence has spanned the globe, from speaking at conferences to groups of women and youth to ministering to sex trafficking victims and orphans in several countries and leading missions teams. In 2016, she founded From My Block to Yours, a 501c3 that exist to love on the change makers of the world that live their everyday life pouring out to others. They thoughtfully and intentionally support modern missionaries, advocates, and church planters through monthly sponsorship and thoughtful care packages. She's also a lover of fashion. Yes, you are, girl. You always make it look so good. We're going to talk about the hair, because you always keep me guessing with the hair. She's a lover of fashion and has co-founded the Lux for Brunch, Lux for Brunch boutique with two of her dear friends. And we could not leave this out. She resides right here in Maryland, but she's happily married to the man who's been in here making us laugh all morning, her husband, Jeffrey Tyler. So welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you.
We have not seen each other, I think, since like 2012 when I hosted an event. It was a free empowerment event called Create Your Own Sizzle for women and girls at the, what was the convention center? The
arena.
The arena.
The
Showplace Arena.
Yes,
the Showplace Arena.
Yes.
We haven't seen each other, and you were one of our guest speakers there. So tell us what's been happening in your life since then.
Oh my God.
Big things, clearly.
Yeah, so much has happened since that time. Well, let's take it back to like 2011. I love Facebook because you always get the on that day. And so I was on the on this day feature in Facebook today. And I look back at 2011 and I was just laid off from a job. Wow. And I was talking about like venturing out with entrepreneurship. And this was in 2011. This was right before we got married. It was because we were married in September of 2011. So then I started working another job in the government, and I worked for that for the government for about a year, and I got let go again. And
signs and more signs, right?
So it's so funny because every job, like I would work there for like a year, and even if I enjoyed the position or enjoyed the company, or I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna grow here, I'll always get let go.
Wow.
Or laid off. And so in August of 2012, which was right around the time of your event, because it was the summer of 2012. I was let go again. Wow. And I looked at my husband and I said, babe, give me 6 months. You know, I really believe that God is saying something and is trying to push me out into my calling. And so at the time I had just started started with a direct sales company and was making some extra money there. But I went all in with the direct sales business and also things related to my purpose. I said, okay, I'm going to put myself out there more with speaking. I'm going to finish the book, and doors just began to open. And so what happened is that over the course of 2012 to now, my direct sales business has grown tremendously to a 7-figure business, which is such a blessing. But God has used that to be income to invest in other ventures. And so even though it wasn't the traditional way of going into entrepreneurship, it was the way that worked for me, because I was able to build that to a point where I could leverage that income and invest in the things that I'm truly, truly passionate about. I'm truly passionate about philanthropy. I have a heart and passion for missions. I enjoy fashion. I enjoy speaking and writing. And so that business was like the open door for me to be able to do those things and have that freedom and leverage to do it.
I love that. There's so much that you said in that little dissertation, if you will, just about, number one, being open. And because like you said, that you didn't take the traditional route into entrepreneurship. Nonetheless, you did what worked for you, and it has turned to be very, very successful. And look at all the lives that you've been able to impact as a result of it. And then I also heard you say that, you know, God will keep tapping you on the shoulder. And he will keep trying to remind you, look, there's something else. Like, I'm trying to push you in the direction of what your real calling and your passion is. But we got to be willing to open the ears and listen. And I was the same way for such a long time. I mean, people know my story. I grew up in poverty. I graduated high school, but I didn't get to go for 4 years of higher education, so I don't have a college degree. And I just kept, when God was nudging me, saying, you're supposed to be speaking, you're supposed to be pouring into women's lives. I'm like, what? No, God, not me. You got the wrong one. It's not
we don't
me.
think we're we're qualified.
We don't think we're qualified.
And that was me. At first, I did not think that I was qualified. I have not completed my college degree, but yet God has opened up doors for me to speak at colleges.
Exactly.
It's so crazy.
You're on the stage talking to people with PhDs and master degrees, and you're the one who don't.
I'm like, how? But only God.
Yeah.
And just stepping out in faith, it has totally just changed my life.
Absolutely. Avis Jones DeWeaver was with us last week, and she made such a phenomenal statement. And she said, don't equate education with intelligence. Oh, I was like, you better say that thing right there. Stop equating education with intelligence, because just because you don't have that piece of paper does not mean you are not intelligent and qualified to be in the spaces. So talk about women really coming to the table. You know, like a lot of times we are holding ourselves back. We're fearful. We're talking ourselves out of whatever God has destined for us. So talk about, you know, that journey of what you've seen and maybe even experienced through, you know, fear, your own fears, and how you've pressed through those things.
You know, the thing is, fear is a very real emotion, and we all experience it. I think sometimes when we talk about fear, we talk about it as such a negative thing, you know, but yes, we all have fears. What I do is I embrace it and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And even when I'm starting new ventures, I'm always nervous. You always feel those butterfly feelings. Even when I'm about to go on stage and I'm about to speak, that fear is there, but you embrace it. You recognize it, but you don't allow it to paralyze you. And I think that's the difference between the women that you will see be successful and go on to have these amazing things that they're accomplishing and doing. Do not think for a minute that they have not experienced the butterfly feelings, that they're not experiencing the clammy hands, but they do it anyway.
Absolutely.
And as you get out there and as you step out there, and I just think of like Peter, you know, the story of Peter when he walked on the water, like when you step out there, there's going to be things that come up against you, like waves. And that can conjure up that fear, but you still have to keep your eyes focused on what God has called you to do anyway. And once you get to the other side, you'll see what that fear was actually trying to do, how it was trying to hold you back from getting to that other side.
That is just amen. Can we say amen? Can the church say amen? Absolutely. I mean, you're speaking my language here, because a lot of, you know, me getting out of my own way was me being able to run in the direction of my fear instead of away from the fear. And I think that's the biggest thing that especially women tend to do. You talked about allowing yourself, that it's a real emotion. You got to allow yourself to feel the emotion so you can become familiar with it, and you can distinguish the difference between intuition or gut saying you shouldn't do it versus fear trying to talk you out of your next level of greatness.
I remember when you jumped out and bungee jumped.
The airplane. I did the skydiving.
Skydive.
I did skydiving.
Okay, so when you are getting up in the plane, you feel that fear.
You do.
You are scared out of your mind, when you jump out and then when you see, you know, the world beneath you is so beautiful. And then you're like, okay, I'm so glad that I embraced that, but I didn't allow it to paralyze me, or else I would have missed out on this amazing experience.
That's it. And so a lot of, and I'm just talking to the women because, you know, that's kind of my core audience, but a lot of us do. We talk ourselves out of an experience or a transformation in our own lives because of what we assume it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like, what we're going to experience. How do you know? You ain't never done it yet.
Yes.
So I was terrified to go skydiving. I'm terrified of heights. Terrified. I am not like Miss Ashley. No, I am not the daredevil. No, that's okay. I only did that because I wanted to prove to myself that nothing can hold you back but you. And so as I was going up, it was like, okay, what's the option? All right, I'm up here now. It's no option. I got to go and I got to jump out because I got to get back down to the ground.
Yes.
So literally, the experience was completely different than anything I expected. I thought it was going to do this like flipping thing with my stomach, almost like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Completely different. Completely opposite.
Wow.
So here I had made all of this stuff up in my mind about what it was going to look like and feel like, and it was completely opposite. It was literally about 60 seconds of a free fall where kind of like the wind is like blowing your face off, right? And after that 60 seconds, that parachute opens. Man, I literally cried because you're just gliding in over God's creation. And it's just like, it's only, the whole experience is like 7 minutes. But that 6 minutes that you're gliding in and just looking over everything, guys, it is amazing.
We're going this summer,
So
babe.
I know that's right. I'll come take pictures of y'all.
Yes,
Because
I can't wait.
one time was enough for me. One time was good. But you have to be willing to, definitely face your fears and move through it. Now, sometimes there's, let's talk a little bit more about fear, because sometimes there's a fear of inadequacy, our own inadequacy, or fear of rejection from others. And sometimes the fear comes from comparing ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
To other people. Can we talk about Facebook? Facebook.
Yeah.
Talk about that comparison and that the imposter syndrome, the comparison syndrome, and not feeling like you have to keep up with anybody else.
Gosh, comparison will just rob you of your joy completely. And what we have to realize, it's so important not to compare, because what you see, even for me, and I tell people this all of the time, what you see from us is highlights of our lives.
Yeah.
People rarely show, like, people always, even with my husband and I, they look at our relationship, our marriage, and they're like, you guys are goals. And I'm like, no, we're not goals. Like, we have had a journey, and we go through just like everybody else.
Yeah.
We're walking this thing out, our own journey. And so you can't look and compare your journey from some highlight reel that they have decided to show on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, because we choose what we're going to show. Come on now, how many times have you taken a selfie before you get the right one?
Okay.
You done took that thing 12 times. Now you post the one and everybody think, oh, it came out perfect. No, honey. I changed, I pivoted, I shifted, I fluffed my hair a little bit more, and then the light was just glowing on me the right way, and then now it looks perfect. But it took 12 takes just for me to get to that. And so typically, just by human nature, we don't share a lot of our mess. We typically are sharing the good parts, the highlights of our journey. And so you're looking at somebody else, and you're seeing what you think is all wins. Oh, I'm winning. And in the mall, I'm winning and I'm winning and I'm winning and I'm winning. Cheryl, no, ain't nobody winning that much without some failures.
Exactly. And so what I have committed to start doing is to share more of my weaknesses.
Yes.
To share the struggles, to share the failures, to share the things that when it's not a good day, when I'm feeling depressed, but I'm pushing through anyway, and showing that part of the journey, because people need to see more of that, not just your wins. They need to see the day where it's like, okay, this was a tough day, but I'm pushing through, and this is how.
Yeah, and I love that, and I try to make that a practice as well with my tribe, is showing them that it's not all wins, and I don't get everything I strive for. I remember I posted on Facebook a picture. It was a screenshot of a denial letter for a speaking engagement that I wanted so bad. And I was like, you were great, but we did not select you. And my little feelings was just as hurt.
And that's real life.
But that's real life. I don't get accepted for everything I submit. I don't get a yes to everything. But like you said, I pick myself up. I'm resilient. I might have a little bit of a tear to draw. They ain't want me. All right, I got to keep moving. Because I don't have time to wallow in the pity of what that moment felt like.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say this about comparison. When we spend so much time looking at other people's journeys, what ends up happening is we find a lot of people duplicating instead of creating. Because if you got to just take a break from the social media and really allow God to speak to you about your particular purpose, about what He has called you to do, and then you can produce something that's innovative instead of getting everything is saying, okay, I see Cheryl Wood is doing it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do the same exact thing, you know, and you may not necessarily be called to do the same exact thing in the same exact way, but you're spending so much time comparing yourself, comparing your journey, you get off.
Absolutely. Completely off track. I know y'all are loving the conversation. Everybody's, they're leaving all these comments. Hey, Carla Watson, thanks for being here. Ladrine says yes to innovation. Like, you got to be uniquely who you are. Ami Sieta, thank you for being here. Kimberly Labu, all the way from Hawaii, thank you for being here. Sharetta, how do you pronounce her last name? Galladay. Hey, so you know I know who you are. I might not be able to pronounce your last name, but you know I know who you are. Rosemary Allen, Deborah Jenkins, Angela Fowler, Latasha French. The list goes on and on. Thank you for being here. Please share this out with others who you know need to hear this conversation. So what I love, we're having the conversation with Jennifer Lucy Tyler, is that you have this true, genuine heart of service. And it really does scream out from everything that you post. It really does. Regardless of the fear and regardless of the challenges, you can feel, like, I believe energy is just so strong. People can, like your cray-cray husband.
Yes.
That energy, right? I can't stop because I love people who are happy and people who are excited to make somebody else feel good. Like I love being in those spaces, which is why you have to talk about that. Talk about being protective of your space.
Oh my God.
That wasn't even the question I wanted to ask, but I got to stop there and ask that question.
Well, I'm very protective of my space because, you know, bad company corrupts good character.
Oh, can y'all post that? Say that again. Say that one more again. Say that one more again.
Bad company corrupts good character. And you have to guard your space and your energy, because I know that I thrive when I'm around other people who are positive, who are going somewhere. And you're not saying that you can't have a bad day, but you just don't stay there.
Right.
And so it is important. It helps my creativity. Like, I love working with my best friend, shout out to Ronnie, because she's always like innovating and positive. So when I'm in that space, you know, it inspires me. And so those are the types of people that I closely align myself with. And I love going to brunches and different things like that when I'm around people of like mind that are excited about, you know, what they're trying to produce and excited about what God is doing, and they're moving and going somewhere. Like, I love being in those spaces. I can't be in those spaces that are constantly negative, where women are gossiping and talking about each other and all of that stuff. I just stay away from that.
Absolutely. Same here, because that does not fuel you. And you need somebody that's people that are going to add that fuel to the fire to help that thing flame up so that you can be the best version of you. And like you said, when you're around creative people who are creative and innovative and they're energized about what they do, you're like, oh, snap, what I'm doing. Like you tend to look at yourself and say, how creative am I being? How innovative am I being? When was the last time I did something that was, you know, different than everybody else?
It challenges you.
Challenges you, absolutely. So then back to the question, thank you for answering that. With your genuine heart of service, right? Do you ever struggle with the idea that, okay, well, I'm just one person. Am I really making change? Like,
oh my gosh.
It's just little old me. Because I've seen you traveling to different countries, and again, you're supporting people who are like orphans and sex trafficking victims. Like, do you ever have that moment where it's just like, really, God, am I really doing anything? Am I making a difference because it's just me?
I absolutely have that moment all the time. And it can be very discouraging if I allow it to be. But then what will happen is, what I realize, it can just one person can make a huge difference, even if it's inspiring other people to get out there and serve others. And one thing about my journey that I'm really appreciative of the most is that I have inspired, especially people of color, to get out into the mission field. And even though I may feel like, oh, it's just me, I'm not doing anything, when I hear stories like, man, you've inspired me to go here and serve, or you've inspired me to support this organization, like, that right there shows that I'm making a difference. And oftentimes when we're serving, we're making a difference where we're not going to physically see the fruit ourselves right here on earth. Like,
that's so
we
true.
may not see it, but hey, I'm like, when we go to heaven, you're gonna find out just how much impact you've made. So we may not ever see all of the fruit. So you can't just look back at, you know, who has actually reached out to you, but you have to trust that you're doing what God has called you to do, and because of that, you're inspiring others as well.
Absolutely. I love that. And I want to turn that to everybody who's watching through voxwave.com, everybody on Facebook, is just know that you are more than enough, and that you are having impact and you're touching lives, even if nobody ever tells you. And sometimes we seek that external validation and that external approval so much. We're so hungry for that and addicted to that, because that's the world that we live in. We got to post something, say something that somebody's applauding.
And if no one's liking,
and if
we're like, wait a minute,
all of a sudden we diminish the value that we're bringing into the world. And I want you to know that whatever it is that's your gift and that you're walking in, that you are more than enough, and that you are having impact, and don't ever wait on anybody else to validate that. You got to know, when you wake up every single day, have I poured out all of me into this day?
Yes.
I say, when I lay my head on my pillow at night, my whole mission at night is, before I close my eyes, have I served the people that I love the best way that I can, and have I poured out some of me into somebody else to help transform their life, whether it was through a Facebook Live, whether it was through somebody I was talking to when I was in line at the grocery store and I empowered. Like, have I poured out everything that I could today? And it is not until I feel that way that I can close my eyes peacefully and lay my head on the pillow.
Yeah.
So that I know if my tomorrow doesn't come, and it's not to be morbid, it's just reality. But if my tomorrow doesn't come, I got to be content with what I did today. And that can't be based on quantity. That has to be based on the quality of how you're serving and pouring out with your unique gifts. So I love the conversation. There's so many things that we're going to have you come back. I'm telling you, you and hubby. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do a sit down with you and hubby. We'll probably laugh the whole time with hubby.
That'll be so fun.
Let me ask you this question, because I know that you do business and you do ministry. Is there a difference?
Yes and no. Because I think that in business, you have to realize that it is a ministry. Because the way that I approach business is with a servant leadership mindset.
Yeah.
And so in ministry, it's serving. You know, the word, if we go into the definition of ministry, is service. It's not about standing and always speaking. And even through your speaking, you're serving.
Absolutely.
So it works together. Like in my business, I'm serving others. I'm serving my business partners. I'm teaching them. I'm training them. I'm doing it even when I don't feel like it.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
And that is an act of service.
Yeah.
So it does work together in that way. And even when I was working a traditional corporate America, I saw that as my mission field. I didn't always see it as my mission field. But when I got that revelation, I was like, okay, all right, who can I impact on this job? Because I'm miserable. Like, that's how I was. And so I started building relationships with people, and like genuine relationships that opened up the door for conversations where I could pour into other women at the office.
Right.
And I saw that as my mission field, and it began to change how I viewed my job at the time. So, yeah, business should be a ministry, whatever business you're in, whether you're cleaning houses or fixing cars. You know, if you're doing something in excellence, you know, that can really, really impact people.
I love that. Yeah. So just have an open mind about where your voice and your message and what you have to offer the world, where it can add value.
Absolutely.
Don't have a closed mind on, oh, well, it can only add value over here. No, sometimes you have to look for the opportunities to utilize it so that it can add value. It might be, and sometimes it might be where you don't want to be in the moment. But are you still leveraging that moment to make sure that your life is impacting somebody else's life? That is a choice. That is absolutely a choice, that you wake up and say, you know what, today I'm gonna touch somebody's life. Somebody ain't gonna be the same when they leave out of my company. That is absolutely a choice. And so, last two questions I want to ask. Number one, who have been some of your coaches and mentors that you might want to shout out? And talk about the importance of mentoring and coaching.
Wow, I've had several different mentors or coaches throughout my life. And some of them, can I just say this? Some of them don't even know that they're mentoring me. Because I feel like sometimes you're going to have hands-on people in your life, and there's others that you'll watch from afar. And you will gather things from them. You'll read their books. You'll get on their podcasts. And so they're coaching you as well. So I love Myleik. She is somebody who I follow, she's the founder of Curlbox.
Yes.
And she coaches me from afar. My best friend, Ronnie Brown, she's the founder of Girl CEO. And I learned a lot from her, and it's so funny because she's younger than me, but she's so wise.
Yeah.
In her gift with business, and that's the thing. Sometimes, like, you can't look at age as a factor. There's people that are younger that may have more knowledge in a certain area, and I'm like at their feet trying to get some wisdom from them.
Yeah.
In ministry, I've had people that have poured into me. Dr. Lindsay Marsh. When I first started my ministry journey, just her opening up doors and giving me a platform to speak before anyone else did.
Yes.
So those are some of the individuals that I could just think of right
yeah,
away.
I love that. I'm sure the list is, it's probably very vast. And But I love that you know, like you said, it's like some of them are from afar and they don't even know, and you're watching them. But also I love that you mentioned that some of them are younger, because the thing is, your coach or your mentor, they don't have to look like you. They don't have to be exactly like you. They can be older, younger, a different color, different race. It doesn't matter. They can be in a different industry. So you have to discern what you need from that individual and take what
Shout out
what
to Michelle McKinney too, because she's been coaching me more recently and has helped me a lot. So
awesome.
I know
and you know you're going to think about like 10 more people when you leave here, like, dang, I should have said their name. So she's thanking all of y'all, everybody, all of y'all who have had an impact that she's watching and helping her to grow. She is thanking you, but you know she might not be able to think about everybody right now. It's okay. And then the last question, have you ever failed in business, and what did you do to bounce back? And how do you keep staying positive even when things are not going exactly the way you want?
Absolutely. I have definitely had my set of failures and things of that nature. When my very first business that I started was a virtual assistant business. And the reason why I started this business is because of my career having been an executive assistant. So I felt like...
I didn't know you'd done that type of work.
Yep. So I had did that type of work for years. I was an executive assistant for 10 years. And so when I launched out with the first company, it was, Tyler Enterprises, LLC, virtual assistant company. I did that because I felt like, I've been an executive assistant for so long. I have this experience. The most natural thing for me to do is to begin to assist everybody else. But no, that wasn't really my purpose. I actually hated it, So I didn't do well at it. I wasn't as focused with it, and the company, I just kind of dissolved it because there was no passion behind it.
Right.
So sometimes the thing that we are so used to doing is not the thing that we should actually be doing if we launch out as an entrepreneur. So I had to really just dig deep and really ask God, okay, what do you want me to be doing in this season? And he brought back memories of me as a child. I was always called to speak at the assemblies, probably a lot like your daughter. I was always speaking. So naturally, what should I be doing? Speaking. And so finding what it is what my message is, and that's what I've done over the years, find what my message is and what I want to communicate to the world, and that is what I'm actually called to do.
Yeah, I love that. And I think what I take from that most is you just got to get started. Like you can change something later that you start, but you can't change something that you never start. How do you even know if you're good at it? How do you know if you like it? How do you know if you're passionate about it? If you never try, because you're so busy trying to create a formula or a blueprint and you never get that thing started, so you never have the opportunity to say, I don't like that, let's crush that, let's move on to the next thing. So we want to encourage you to just get started. All right, so finish out these statements as we wrap up and take our break. In order to soar as a woman, you must be willing to...
You must be willing to ask for help.
I love that. Ask for some help, darn it. Stop trying to do it all on your own. The most important characteristic of a successful woman is...
consistency.
Over and over and over and over, even when you don't feel like it, like you said earlier. And last but not least, your legacy is determined by...
Your legacy is determined by your faith.
Your faith. I love it. Thank you so much for being with us. You guys, we've been talking to Jennifer Lucy Tyler, the Jennifer Lucy Tyler. How can people connect with you and find you?
You can find me on all social media aspects. On Instagram, I'm at Mrs. Lucy Tyler, MRSLUCY Tyler. And on my website, I'm JenniferLucyTyler.com.
Make sure you connect with her. If somebody would post that in the Facebook feed, that would be fantastic. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with our next guest. She's an amazing photographer extraordinaire. Her name is Patricia McDougall. So stay tuned right here. We'll be right back.
I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me say. Oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say we are standing bold, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bold. shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah. We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy.
Right here. Awesome. All right, welcome back. It's been a phenomenal show already, and we have 2 more amazing women who are in the studio with us. I told you that this month of March, oh my God, you need to make sure that you are here every Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. for Impact the World Radio. And don't just come by yourself, tell a friend. You can always catch us here Wednesdays 12 to 2 on VoxWave, VoxWav.com. Or, of course, I typically stream it through my Facebook page. All right, so my next guest is Patricia McDougall. She's the founder and chief executive officer of Patricia's Professional Photos, LLC, located in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. She's renowned for providing services at iconic places and history-making events in Washington, D.C. This is true, because you everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
Oh,
when I saw you at the Women's March?
Yes.
And I was watching
the first one,
TV,
the second one,
and I took a picture, the first one. I was like, I was squinting my eyes, like, is that who I think it is? And sure enough, she was up on the stage doing her thing.
Yes.
But this includes the White House, the U.S. Congress, the State Department, international organizations, embassies, academic institutions, and faith-based organizations. She's also the radio host, I didn't know this, and producer of Patricia McDougall On the Scene, Celebrity Photographer, which is aired every Sunday at 2 p.m. on WLVS Radio. She's been awarded so many awards, including the Joe Mann's Black Wall Street Award, President's Angel Award by the National Congress of Black Women Incorporated. That's huge.
Yes.
Voted one of the top Black female photographers in the Washington, D.C. area, and nominated by the Caribbean and African Faith-Based Leadership Conference to receive the honorary doctorate in humane letters for her humanitarian and ministerial work. Welcome to the show.
Well, hey, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you said yes.
What?
Because you are a busy woman, and I always see you doing your thing. You're like seriously, she's everywhere. She is the go-to photographer extraordinaire. You will always be that. I will always reference you as that. So how did you get started in photography?
Well, I tell you, long story short, I do work at Howard University full time. That's
Yes,
I
didn't mention that.
You didn't mention that, right? But I wanted to mention that too.
Shout out to Howard.
Howard HU, yes, we're in the building, right? Okay, so how I got started was I used to take care of my mom for years because she was sick, and I couldn't go to a lot of places. So I said I always wanted to, get involved in things, and so. After she passed, in 2009, a minute ago, I just bought a camera and I started taking pictures. And the first place was actually at the National Harbor with the ice, when the ice, we really taking pictures, right? But then I couldn't get the lighting right because, of course, ice, it's cold, it's, and plus it's too much light. So I said, okay, wait a minute now, I need a flash. So then I got the camera, I got a flash, and then people just started inviting me to take pictures, and then they said, can we pay you? I'm like, sure. How much do you want to pay? I'm like, I don't know, $50, $5, I don't know. So then I said, well, what is the real? Because everybody kept hiring me for $50, right? So I said, wait a minute, hold up, $50. Like, what is that? For like 3-4 hours, and I go, wait, I had to get the going rate, right?
Right.
So anyway, so that's how I started, and then just kind of being at the right place at the right time. Everybody was calling me up to do the photos. And
but like, where did that stem from? Because there are a lot of photographers that people can choose, right? So how do you? And maybe there is no magic formula.
There is a lot.
But
right.
how do you position yourself, or how did you position yourself throughout your career to get some of these amazing opportunities that you're getting?
Well, I'm going to tell you, every photographer is different. Everybody has a different style.
Right.
I go in there wanting to tell a story after the event is over. Photographers go in there trying to capture you up close and get a really good shot of you, right? I understand that, yes. But and I take 1 million pictures, where some photographers, if I go in, they take 50, I take 1,000. So the difference is I take 1,000, they take 50, and then I come out. You could literally go through the pictures, and if you had your finger on the button, it would go click, 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 click. You would actually relive the event.
Wow, I love that.
And then I do video at the same time. So I'm holding my camera, click, 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 and I'm doing video over here, and then I'm doing FaceTime over here. So people say, what do you do? You're multitasking.
Yes.
And you know what? Not all photographers can do that, because you actually have to have a steady hand. And so that's kind of, I've just been in
It's like your competitive advantage. That is your competitive advantage.
That's exactly
right.
And
I love, though, that you said that, because some of y'all need to take some notes, like doing things that other people won't do. So you got the typical photographer who comes in and takes 50 or 100 pictures. She's taking 1,000.
And
she's, seriously, like, how do you?
Keeping it real, right?
Yeah, how do you edge out your competition? Come on now, you got to make yourself more valuable in some way. So I definitely do consider that as a competitive advantage. That's beautiful. So what's your favorite thing to photograph?
I like events. Meaning like musicians, singers, behind the scene. Like, for instance, when I was on the stage, of course, at the Women's March, as you said, I was like behind the scenes. I was back there with Madonna, Cher, everybody who was on the stage, right?
Right.
And so I kind of like the going back there and just kind of networking and feeling the energy. You don't have a lot of million photographers back there grabbing at them, so you're able just to kind of take them candidly. So I kind of like events like that, but I also like your events. When I went to your events, when I was the photographer, right?
Yeah.
It was so inspiring that when I was there, I watched you, I watched everybody come up and talk, dance around, get them pumped up. Right. I really enjoyed your event. So I really want to thank you for having me come out for that.
Absolutely.
Because that was one of the, I've gone to many events.
Yeah.
And that one was off the charts.
I love it. Playtime was over.
Playtime was over. She came in there, she didn't have no makeup on, she was on the side.
That's right.
I'm like, should I take a picture? Wait, hold up. I'm like, wait, okay.
So
then I said, wait, but maybe that might be part of the show.
And it was. It was so, for that year, I came out, I wasn't dressed. I just had on some flip-flops and some sweatpants and a shirt, no makeup. And my intention was to make everybody feel comfortable just being themselves.
Right.
Like, I know you got pretty to come here, but if you want to kick your shoes off, kick your shoes off. Like, we just want to get to the real you. We're not worrying about your makeup and what kind of lipstick you have on and your red bottom shoes. Like, that's cute how you walked in here, but now we want to get to the core of who you are and how do we shift your mindset so that you can achieve what you want through your business and in your life. So yeah, that was intentional.
And you kept them energized, so it wasn't boring. You had them over here, you were doing something over here, you was doing photos in the back, you had them running around, exercise. So that is when I'm doing photos and I go to events like that, I enjoy it because I learned so much from events like that.
Now talk about the importance of connecting with other photographers? Like, are there photographers where, like, let's say you're in the space and you're great at what you do, right? And let's say you're in a space, but do you find that when you're in a space with other photographers that you ever learn?
Well, you don't necessarily learn from the other photographers unless they're set up in the back and they're actually doing a photo session and they're doing green screen or something like that. Then you kind of see their style.
Right.
But if they're moving around the room, you watch them and see how they work the space. Some are too invasive, some get in your face, some stand back and take their pictures with a zoom lens. So I kind of watch them. But what's important about being in the room with another photographer, a lot of photographers don't like you to be in the room with them. They want to have sole control of what's going on. Me, you could have 5 photographers in that room because everybody has a different eye and everybody's not going to get the same picture and everybody's going to come away with that photo session different, right? So they can get up there and get it close. Okay, I'm a back. I can get the same picture because I can stand here and get this angle up. And if they're working one side, I work the other. So I work the opposite. I don't follow them around. Some photographers follow the photographer around. If you set up something, they don't want to miss nothing. They're right behind you like a tag. So if you're the only photographer in the room and you're controlling the pictures, that's best. But I don't necessarily have to be the only one photographer in the room. I enjoy being in the room with other photographers.
I love that. I love that you're flexible.
And that's not normal, right?
Yeah, right. But I love that you're flexible and not rigid, and that you're open to adjusting to whatever the situation is. It's not like, oh, well, I thought I was going to be the only one here, and now you can't function. It's like, you're like, what? If they taking it from this angle, I'm going to come from this angle. If it's 5 people, I'm going to squeeze and I'm going to be right here. Like, I love that. I think that's probably a big part of your success in the business. So you sound, from my perspective, hearing that says to me that you're very confident and assured in your work and what you do.
Absolutely.
How did you develop that? Were you ever, did you ever lack confidence, and how did you build the confidence?
Well, you know, that's funny that you should say that because sometimes when I'm taking pictures, I have 2 cameras because I've been out when in the beginning when I only had 1 camera and the camera malfunctioned. I remember one time I drove all the way to Atlanta to take a photo, to do a photo session. It was VIPs, I'm telling VIPs. And I went upstairs and my camera, I was supposed to go in the room, go out the room, take pictures, of the VIP of interviewing the next person, right? So my camera literally died. like I had to fake it. Like, I'll tell you who it was. It was Andrew Young interviewing with some dignitaries from Africa, right?
Oh, my God.
You can even put it back together, right? So I'm like, oh, no, what am I going to do? So I had a guest downstairs because they had security and the dog sniffing all the stuff. I couldn't just bring them up. So I said, I need somebody. And I went to the guy and said, listen, my camera's done. I'm just going to go in there, fake it. Please take a picture because I'm the photographer, they're the videographer. So I said, when you finish doing that, just take a picture, okay? It's just like 2 sessions, right? So I went downstairs, had the security get the camera, bring it back up, and I just started, kept going. But then when I went to the next place where I had to do the gala and the dinners, and my camera was done. So I had to use the kids' camera the whole entire time. I said, listen, we're not hired for videos. I know you wanted to do videos, but I need that camera. So I was lucky that I had the other camera. And when I got back, I went out and bought a second camera. Because you do not, I don't tell, if you're doing an event and you see a photographer, they do not have 2 cameras, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, you know what it is. You know what you're working with.
If the camera goes out, they're not going to tell you. You better get some pictures with your phone.
Right.
You have to see how you can work it no matter what. You have to make, because they don't care if your camera went out. They just want to make sure everything is working.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you better have that picture.
At the end of the day, you better have that picture. That's all the person cares about.
Like Obama's in up in here, you got that picture. Did you get that picture?
Exactly.
Did you? I'll be like, wait a minute, hold up. I take 100 pictures. I got that picture.
Exactly. But I love that you were willing to learn from something that was initially a failure, right? Because all of us fail at some point in our businesses. Like when we do it and we're like, oh Lord, I can't never do that again, or I got to change it, and you immediately rectified it. That was the thing. So you fall down, but the question is how you gonna get back up and what you gonna do about it to make it better. So I love that. I love that.
And,
all right.
So and in lighting too, you put the light. If you light, you're doing something and taking pictures. You have a flash on the top. You ever see that with the cameras? And your batteries die right at the moment.
Right. I've seen that happen.
What? So if you don't have a light extra to put on there, batteries to put in there, or your camera doesn't have a flash, you better think really quick.
Right. So you learned all of this just through trial and error, or did you go for?
I took classes.
Okay.
I took classes at Howard. I took classes outside Calmet. They used to have it there. I don't know if they still do. I took lots of classes. So I think if you want to be a photographer, you have to learn by trial and error, yes.
Right.
But you have to take classes because photography, lighting is everything.
It is.
Lighting is everything. If it's too
so
bright,
true.
it's too, everything is lighting. You have to have that skill if a photographer says he knows about lighting, that's the most important piece.
Yeah, there's a photographer that I use for some of the events that I do. His name is Devin Trent. I'm shouting out Devin Trent. And I'm also shouting out a young lady who came and photographed me at an event this past Saturday, Ladrina. That's so bad. I'm so bad with names. And she was on here earlier. Let me see if I can find her name real quick. Lindria. I think it's Lindria.
Okay.
Oh, girl,
forgive me for
jacking up your name.
Don't worry,
but
girl,
anyway,
and
it was last minute, and I was like, I need somebody who can come all the way down here in Prince Frederick, Maryland.
My.
But she did an amazing job, and the lighting was
everything.
And it wasn't very light in the place, but she was clearly prepared. Right.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of light.
Devin just photographed me I spoke for the governor's office on Thursday for International Women's Day, and it was very dark. Now, he'd asked me, he said, can I bring lights? I was like, no, don't bring no lights because it's not that kind of event. And I don't want you. I'm thinking big, humongous lights, right? So we get into the facility and he's like, he went to the lady who was organizing. He was like, is it going to get any brighter than this?
I go in the back and tell him to turn up the lights a little bit, please.
He asked the question, and he was like, she was like, well, no, we're going to leave it kind of dim like this. He was like, well, do you mind if I bring in my lighting? And he went and got his light.
No, he did.
And then pictures came out phenomenal.
Yes,
yeah, so you're right. That lighting, obviously, it matters.
Everything.
So if somebody wants to get started, so look, let me just say this. I have been considering taking photography.
Oh, girl, I'll give you lessons.
Not that I even want to do it professionally, but I like to tell stories, as you know that. I like to tell stories, but I typically do it through my phone.
Yes.
But I'm kind of like, maybe that's, I'm in a season where my kids are growing up. My kids are 10, 11, and 14.
Oh, you
so
got
it's
them
not
like
the
me.
babies anymore, the baby stage, and they have their own interests, and I want to figure out who I am again.
Right.
And one of the things two things I've been interested in, photography and culinary.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give myself permission to just do those things without any expectation. So where would someone who wants to get started in photography, what would be the first kind of couple steps you would encourage them to do?
Okay, so I would have somebody go with you to get the right camera.
I love that. That is such a good suggestion. Don't try to go out there thinking you know.
No, right. I ain't gonna tell you Canon or
right.
Nikon. I ain't gonna tell you which one, right?
Got it.
But the camera makes a difference, and a good flash makes a difference, right? But you should take a class or one-on-one with somebody to learn how to use that camera. Because you can buy a camera and not use. I mean, I had my camera for maybe 2 years, and I really didn't know how to use it, right?
Wow.
Trial and error, right?
Yeah.
You have to get the app, the ISO, whole 9 yards. And if you don't have that right, you'll have a hard time taking pictures, and you'll be very frustrated. Depending on, like I said again, going back to the lighting situation, right? So I'll be more than happy to show you how to use the camera when you get it. I'm
going
to
talk about
some training.
some training.
I wanted to go back to that again. Speaking of photography, I'm actually a photographer for different individuals and different companies, right? And one of them is Women Leadership, right? It's a magazine, right? So I wanted to kind of show that a little bit, right? And MEA magazine, I actually do the covers for the magazine, right?
That's awesome.
Hey, right? So get with me on that, because I definitely can get you. You need to be on the cover.
I know.
She needs to be on this cover.
That's what I'm saying. Let me show it to the people on Facebook.
Show it to everybody so she can
Cheryl Wood need to be on the cover of that. Women Leadership.
Or MEA too, but so I actually do the inserts, like I do the cover, and also inside the spreads with all the pictures of the different events that's going on. So when you get a minute, please look through. And get back with me. Well, this one, it was the one I just did an event last Friday, which is a Ghana. It was a development and a conference event that came up. I actually brought it here. I was writing in it, but I actually did that. That was my last event that I did on Friday, right? So many things coming up. Like today, I'm actually, not to change the subject, but I'm going to be on the mall. I'm going to take pictures of those sneakers.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
I'm going to take pictures, so please, check back with me on that. And I was going to share it so you can have some pictures, because that's a subject that's going on right now. Because you can relate, because you have kids in the school and the gun situation.
And we have these conversations about, is there a plan in school and what to do and what.
Right, because my daughter Leah, I know you know Leah, she's kind of like your daughter. She's going to be 16. She's going to be a teenager.
She's going to be 16? Oh my God.
She's going to be 16 on the 20th, so we're going to have a big celebration for her. She didn't want to do the whole dance and the gala and dress up. She wanted to get a little limo and just drive around and just be cute, right? And then my oldest son, he's going to be 30. I know that's a big stretch, right? And his birthday is the 15th, so I have a lot of celebrating to do this week.
You do.
Yeah,
Well,
and then I have a middle son.
I love seeing you everywhere. Like I said, I was so geeking out when I saw you on the news and you were up there for the march. I was like, I know her. You know, people love saying they know. So I know her. But I just love celebrating other women who are walking in their gifts, and you're so great at it. I mean, I think I was on Facebook or something, and I saw that you had done photos at some big concert. I was like, she's everywhere.
Well, I do photos for Soul Nations events, and those are major, like Patti LaBelle. I mean, you know who is there. And so my job is to work. They have like 5,000 individuals, meaning people out there in the audience, and I'm the only photographer that can go back and take pictures of the guests, and I have to get a video drop from them. So that's another fear too. Like if your video doesn't come out good, I have a backup camera, like I'm taking here and here. The sound of the video, like when you're holding the mic. So you have to have all those things in place. So I do photos for them. And I'm also the photographer for Dr. William Skinner. She has a leadership program.
Know you're the photographer for everybody.
So you don't see everybody's stuff that I show because it's private. But some things I do share just to kind of get a glimpse.
I just know you always working, and I love it. I love a woman who is always able to work. So outside of you taking so many photographs, what do you really feel has made you stand? Like what has supported you in increasing and where you're always working? Like it doesn't seem like you are sitting waiting for any work.
Well, that's funny. I'm not sitting. I mean, matter of fact, I'm going to be working with Larry. You know, everybody knows Larry.
Right.
Give a big shout out to Larry.
Right.
You know, he's doing his thing. But anyway, I stay busy. Like I'm going to do a photo shoot on Thursday and Friday, so I don't even have a break, right? Even though I'm a break at Howard University, I don't have a break because he has me busy, right? But anyway, usually I took time off yesterday to rest. But normally the phone just rings. I can't even handle all of the calls that I'm getting.
But is most of your work
it out?
But is most of your work referral based? Are you getting like this person referred to this person?
I guess they're referring me. I just get calls all the time. They see me on the radio show. They ask me questions. They come out. They want me to do all kind of events. And but I can't handle all of them because I work from 9 to 5 in the day, so I have to kind of source out the many of the events that I do.
Yeah, but you're getting a percentage, I hope. I know you got
Sometimes
that in place.
It depends on what it is. If they're not getting a high percentage, it's not big, depending on who I'm sending, of course. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just saying, make sure you implement a referral fee program. I'm just saying.
Oh, no doubt.
Get them coins, right?
Yes. You have to keep
it's been so great. I've loved this conversation.
Right.
And again, I celebrate you. Like if anybody knew me, my husband, he's on here. He'll tell you, I'm like, yes, I'm talking to the computer, cheering for my other sisters, and you are one of those women. I'm like, I love seeing you do your thing and all that God is blessing you with. So keep up the great work. How can people reach out to you if they want to utilize your services?
Well, they can reach me at patriciamcdougallphotos.com. They can email me at pmcdougall6@gmail.com. That's pmcdougall6@gmail.com. But please visit my website at patriciamcdougallphotos.net or patriciamcdougallphotos.com or patriciamcdougallonthescene.com. So many places, right? People say, do you have a website? And I'm like, just Google my name, Patricia McDougal.
I was going to say, just Google her.
And you're going to get all my info.
You'll get all her info.
Yes.
And are you on Instagram?
I'm on Patricia McDougal too, on Instagram too. And I just wanted to say one thing. The reason why I started photography and started my business because I was at Howard and I was working there for 10 years. And right before the 10 years, of course, everybody does, they get rid of you, right? And bring you back. So what happened was I was one of the 200 employees that were laid off. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to start my business. Are you kidding me? So I went up there and I started Patricia's Professional Photos, and that's how I started. And then they get a call, say, Patricia, don't you want to come back? I'm like, I'm having too much fun. Are you kidding me? Like, sleeping late, do what you want to do, travel.
Exactly.
Like, I envy you, like, traveling all over. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Europe. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Canada. I'm like, God, I'd be like her, right? But anyway, when you have kids, of course, it's very, very hard. And, of course, you got it going on. But the thing is, you could always find me on the scene, and one day I'm going to be like her and travel all over.
Please, I'm trying to be like her.
I'm
ready for the training. So
yes,
seriously,
please.
I am so serious.
Yes.
I feel like that's something that I want to pursue, even if it's just for personal. But I want to be, and if I do something, I want to do it well.
Because I do Photoshop and all of that as well.
Yeah,
so I
want to learn the
whole
shebang.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be willing to invest in some training with you, and I want to learn from the best.
Oh, well, hey.
Come on now.
You know, hey. You know?
So this is, again, the amazing Patricia McDougal. You want to check her out, connect with her, Google her. You'll find her all all across social media, doing her thing, impacting the world through her unique gift of photography. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
I love the energy.
Enjoy.
Like we just
Thank
like,
you.
I love it.
I like a half an hour. I'm like, wait a minute, we can go like 2
and
hours.
it's gone. Exactly.
So thank you for having me.
Thank
Truly.
you for being here.
Love your work.
Thank you so much. Likewise.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to be right back with our final guest, Miss Latasha Briscoe.
All right.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh.
And we are back. Oh my God. I know it. Look, if you've been watching the whole show, I know you are already like full from all the great conversations that we've been having. But we're not done yet. We have one final amazing powerhouse woman who I have absolutely just been watching grind and grow. And I love every second of it. Like I am such a huge proponent and I should say supporter, not even proponent, supporter of people who start at the bottom, kind of like grassroots, like don't nobody know them, don't nobody know what they do, because that's how I started, and who just work their way to the top. And that is what this young lady is doing. Her name is Latasha Briscoe. She's the owner of LB Innovations Events, where she has served as the creative director and the lead planner for 10 years. Latasha has positioned herself to become a sought-after event planner and designer. In addition to creating memorable events for clients and hosting events that provide a platform for entrepreneurs, she continuously develops her own skills through regular training, as well as plays a major part in the development of up-and-coming planners and designers by offering job shadow, mentoring, and intern opportunities. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank
so
you for
excited to have
having
you here.
me.
So I first have to just say thank you, because you have served the Playtime is Over conference for the past 3 years as our sponsor of decor. And here's the thing. It's so much bigger than just the decor. So Latasha, when she comes in, it's not just, oh, I did your centerpieces, I put them down, I'm gone. She's there early. She's there before me, number one. Yeah. She's often there. She stays the whole time. She chips in to do other things while she's there. She's like, what else? Do you need something else? Okay, this don't look right over here. Let me fix this. And then she does it. And I love that. That is what makes me want to continue working with you because of the spirit with which you do what you do. So how did you get involved in this industry of event planning and designing?
Wow. Well, like most event planners, it all happened with planning my own wedding.
Right.
Or at least trying to plan my own wedding. And wanting to be the bride, the planner, the decorator, the florist, and everything else.
Yes.
And just trying to have my hands into everything, I'm like, oh, I can do this easily.
Yes.
Well, when it's your own wedding, it's impossible, or nearly impossible without help. I had to actually bring in an event planner, because it was just too much. But it gave me it opened my eyes up to everything that's out there when it comes to wedding planning and event planning. And then I was able to decide what areas of actually planning that I want to get involved in. So it definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think you made a profound statement. Some of us are a little OCD when it comes to our events and how we want to see things executed. Hint, hint, pointing to myself. I went through, Janelle Boyd, who has been one of your coaches and mentors and has been one of my clients, and I consider her a friend. She's doing phenomenal things. Shout out to Janelle Boyd. Please tag her and Completely Yours events. But she'll tell you, when I hosted that event at the Showplace Arena in 2012, girl, I just thought I had it all under control. Yeah. And I think the rule of thumb is just because you can doesn't mean you should. Right? So yes, I can plan events. Yes, I know how to do it, but that doesn't mean I should be doing it for one of the biggest events I had ever embarked upon at that time. I mean, thousands of people came out to the Showplace Arena. And I kept telling Janelle, I was like, oh, I got it. I'm good. I got it. I was not good and I didn't got it. No. I needed help. I needed support. And I will never forget, it came down to the last couple of days. And then I was calling, I was like, Janelle, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. Can you do this? And I'm giving her a list. And she's like, I told you release it. And that was one of the first lessons of me learning to release, because other people are qualified to do what you need done. So you started off because you were trying to plan your own wedding, and then how did it kind of grow from there?
Well, starting off and then getting to where I am, there was that breakdown moment. I lost my mom. I actually also lost my mom in 2009.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I lost my dad in 2009.
Right.
That's crazy.
That time period, and that's actually when I met Janelle, and changed my life. Yeah. Because I had the passion before. I knew what I wanted to do, and I enjoyed doing the event planning. I wasn't really doing the business part that I should have been doing, because I wasn't focused on business. I was focused on, this is my passion. I'm just going to go out here plan events.
Like a lot of women in business.
For $50. Right. And I'm going to do
or for a ham sandwich and a thank you.
Yeah, and I'm going to do it because I like doing it. And it took my mom, because my mom was always my biggest supporter. And it took her passing for me. I actually said, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't. For what? Because she was my biggest cheerleader. When your cheerleader's gone, it's like, what else is there to do? Right. And then I realized during that time, when you lose your biggest supporter and your best friend, your mom, and then you don't have anyone else telling you to do this, you have to be quiet and listen, because the Spirit will talk to you. Right. And that's what I had to hear. And just in that time of my life, going through everything, it was, what are you going to do with your time now? Yeah, you're still going to get up and go to work, but how are you fulfilling that emptiness? Yeah. And it took me literally, I met Janelle, and she was like, why did you get started? Because I forgot about the whole why I got started. It was because I enjoyed doing it. Yeah. And so getting back on track to that point, that's when I realized, okay, I need to focus on making this a business versus an elaborate hobby.
An elaborate and expensive hobby. And some of us, as women in business, we're dumping a whole lot of money into what we call a business, but it's really a business, B-I-D, business, because you have not made it a real solidified business, and you're giving away a lot of your time, and you're not charging your fee. As I say, you're giving a homie hookup so much that you're really not seeing any profits on the opposite end. And then you get to a place where you're like, okay, why am I doing this again? So you have to, I think that's such a strong point, that you have to identify that you want to do it as a business. Right. If you want to do it as a charity, that's fine. Don't call it a business. But if you call it a business, you should be making money. People who are in business make money, talk about money, negotiate money. And if you ain't ready to do those three things, then don't call it a business. So so I love that you said you had the cheerleader and then that was gone. And then that, again, another valid point is the importance of coaches and mentors. Because sometimes it can be about the strategies and it can be about the ideas, but sometimes it's just about having somebody who got your back, somebody who is cheering for you in addition to you. So you guys know, earlier I shared that I've released 31 pounds. Well, I hired a physician to help me do that because I needed the plan. But let me tell you the bigger part. This physician cheers for me like I cheer for me.
Right.
Like sometimes, like I'm not kidding you, the first time I went to buy a dress and it was one dress size down, right? I took a picture of the dress tag and I Facebooked it to him and he replied. Like, this man is busy. He took time from his schedule and was like, you are my superstar, blah, 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 blah. And every time I go and weigh in, he's like, there's my superstar. How we do this week? And that is such a necessary part of the process. So don't ever underestimate the importance of coaches and mentors who cheer for you in addition to helping you with the strategies and the blueprint.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so talk about some of the failures maybe that you have experienced through the journey of going from Latasha, who was, all right, I'm thinking about it. I kind of lost my passion to, okay, now I know I want to do this. And now you're like doing everybody's events.
Right. So as you mentioned, a lot of the separating the hobby from the business, I put out a lot of money at the beginning, just spending unnecessarily on business cards that really didn't help, website work that didn't really help, branding that didn't really help, and until I figured out, start with the foundation, figure out, define what you do, and then we can perfect the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, it took a lot. I wasn't investing in myself in the early stages. So I've learned to not waste money and put my money in a better place, investing in those coaches, investing in those programs and the learning developmental programs.
Yes.
So now, before you might come across people that say, oh, I already know how to do that. I don't need to go to this person for that person to tell me how to do this. I can find it on the internet. No, you need to talk to someone who's been through it and who's done that.
Right.
And that's, how a lot of the things, especially when it came to contracts, that's the biggest issue that I had was making sure I had a tight sealed contract because you lose money when you don't.
Absolutely.
And you don't pay attention to those things. You just worry about doing the work.
Right.
But it's that one time when you have that one client that says, oh, you didn't do X right and now I want all my money back.
Oh, that's so good.
You don't get a refund on your time.
Right.
Or the team that you had to pay. So
Right.
it's like, okay, what do I need to do? And starting there mainly with those contracts helped me eliminate or avoid in the future a lot of those mistakes.
Yeah, so invest in you. Like somebody asked me about I have a new program, Speaker Development Lab, and someone reached out and was like, well, I took this session that you had. Do you think this will still be good for me? Girl, any type of ongoing continuing education is good for you. Right. Because number one, you're going to possibly hear something that's new and creative that you haven't heard before. Or number two, you're going to hear a pivotal reminder that you need. And we can never underestimate the value of reminders. Because just because you hear it don't mean you're doing it. And number three, you're going to be in a community of other people who are, as Jennifer was saying, like-minded, and you need that as fuel to your fire. So all three of those things are such an important component of investing in yourself. So I think that's very, very a key point. I know you guys are taking away great nuggets like I am. Hey, Kiana. Yeah, get it, Cheryl. Thank you, girl. They still cheering about the 31 pounds, girl. Me too. I'll be doing a Facebook Live later. All right, so let's keep it going. So what's your favorite type of events to plan? And what's your favorite component of the event planning? Because you do planning and you do design.
Yes.
What's your favorite? And then what's your favorite type of event to be a part of?
So I love weddings.
Okay.
And weddings offer me the most creativity because I'm able to do the design part of it.
Right.
I do work with a lot of clients for corporate events. I've worked with you.
Right.
And I like clients like
I love
you.
working with you.
Yeah, because you're that client. And I spoke at a conference a couple of weeks ago, the Association of Bridal Consultants, and they asked me, what's my favorite type of client? And I say the client that tells me their colors, their budget, and says, go do this.
Right.
And that's you. Because you tell me, I like big purple flowers or I like big fluffy flowers.
That is true.
Just make it. And so that's the client that I love because now I have that idea, but I don't have them saying, I want it to look exactly like this thing I found on the internet.
Right.
And weddings allow me to do that because a bride is so focused on all the other things.
Yeah.
I don't need her attention on me.
Yep.
And so I'm able to just be creative. I was talking to one of my mentees today, and she was asking me about pricing for a bridal shower. And I'm like, well, I don't do those, because those are the type of events where everyone is, they see them on Pinterest and they're like, these glamorous events. Yeah, and the budget doesn't fit.
Right,
but,
right.
But those are creative, but I like the events where I know I have a nice budget to work with, and I'm able to just do what I do and make that vision come alive and not be bothered. So weddings, definitely weddings.
Yeah, so you don't get stressed out about like a wedding just seems so huge. Like that would stress me out, especially when you have a bridezilla and like that. Do you ever experience that where the bride is a micromanager or a bridezilla and she's driving you insane? And how do you deal with that pressure of this is for a lot of women, this is the most important day of their life. Like they wait for this moment to say I do.
Right. So I've definitely had brides like that. I'm not going to say I currently have any because they may be out there looking. But definitely,
all of her brides right now are amazing and wonderful and perfect.
Great brides. So I've definitely had brides that are like that A-type. Yeah. But that's where I have an assistant come in, or I bring in another planner, and I'm like, okay, this is what I have. This is the event. These are the colors. This is the design she's looking for. But I need you to talk to her about this program.
Right.
I need you to find out what she wants done during the reception, because I don't want to talk to her.
Right.
Because me and her, we're going to bump heads.
Right.
She wants me to do the design work at her event, but when it comes to the details, because I go by a timeline on everything. When it goes to filling in the blanks for that timeline so we can see what your day is going to look like, talk to my assistant, because there are just some things that I know what I'm good at and I know where my patience level is.
There you go.
And we got to meet in the middle somewhere.
Right. I love that. It's knowing yourself, knowing what your lane is, what your expertise is, and knowing what you can't look. Like even with me, with my assistant now, it's like, girl, call him, because I just can't do it. Right. Like I'm very patient, but then there's some things that just really, it's like, and I just give it to her. So I think having that buffer is such a key point for all business owners, having that buffer where you don't have to always do the direct interaction with the person. Especially if you feel like it can get a little heated because the person has a strong opinion or view about what they want, and you're like, well, look, your budget don't cover this.
Yeah. and because I'm at that point where I know who I am and I know the type of person I want to work with, it's now allowing me to better define my ideal client.
Yes.
Because that's very big also, because it saves you time with going through consultations and meetings with that person that's not your ideal client.
Absolutely.
We're not going to meet. We're never going to get that far down the line that I'm going to walk you down the aisle, because we're not going to get past the consultation.
Right.
We have creative differences, so let's move on.
Right. I love it. So do you turn down business?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I know Patricia mentioned during her segment how she's able to now refer, whether it's the timing or scheduling, whatever, she can refer things out. And that's where I'm at now. Either, okay, your date doesn't fit, I definitely can't do it.
Right.
But if you call me and you say you want to bring in zebras and you want the, if it's something that I'm like, that's not going to look good in the pictures that I want to present for my brand. So no, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Wow.
But let me give you a list of some other planners who love zebras. Hey,
so you said something such a great point, is being protective of your brand.
Absolutely.
And I love that. Like, we don't hear a whole lot of people, especially this, because you're how long in to your business?
10 years.
Okay, 10 years. So
that's
you ain't
definitely
new.
some growth,
But your brand is everything, and you have to be willing to protect it and know, what do I want to, and I've turned clients down because I'm like, okay, first of all money ain't good money. That's right. And some clients are going to drive you crazy. And I'm like, I came into business to have peace and joy and to do what I love and to continue enjoying it. Otherwise, I can go to a job that I hate and I suck my teeth that I go to every day. Right. So, but in business, I want to maintain my peace and my calm. And so I'm very intentional. People ask me all the time, why don't you have your coaching information on your website? That is intentional, because you have to contact us and we have to do a discovery session so that I can make sure there's a synergy, make sure that I'm the right fit for you, because I might not be the right fit for you. And I'll tell you that. All money is not good money. I would rather turn down a check than to accept the check, and then I'm frustrated, you angry, I'm angry, and we just button heads. So I think that was such a powerful statement that you made. Yeah. So then let's talk about an upcoming event that you have. And I love this event. I love the title. I love everything about it. It is called Sweatpants and Chill Retreat.
Yes, the sweatpants
and chill retreat. Okay, so talk about how you came up with this concept and like what is the intention of it?
So I attend, as an event planner, I attend a lot of events because I'm either hosting or planning or behind the scenes, but also attend a lot of events as an attendee. And it's always, what am I going to wear? I got to schedule a hair appointment. Oh my God, I need makeup done.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I just want to go to a conference, get all the information, and be comfortable. Why can't I wear my sweatpants to PTIO?
Right. But that's so funny though. It's so funny because I actually thought of that before, but I didn't move on it. That meant it wasn't meant for me to move on that idea.
Right.
I believe that. I believe sometimes you get an idea and you know, you move on it, or if you don't, then God takes it and he gives it to somebody else who's supposed to move on it. So I love it. When I saw it come out, I was like, yes! Can we just put on those sweatpants and we just chill and still learn the information?
That's right.
So tell us some of the speakers and what's the whole concept of what we're going to learn at this retreat.
So it's a 3-day event. Friday night is going to be all about relationships, personal relationships, professional relationships, and how they intertwine. And our keynote speaker for Friday night is Janelle Boyd.
Oh, yay, Janelle!
Yeah. And then we have one of our expert speakers on the actual panel is going to be Cheryl Duncan. And last year she did the big proposal and wedding in a day. So her and her husband they just went viral with that.
Oh, wow.
So she'll be one of our expert speakers. And then Saturday we have just getting down to the nitty gritty of who you are, and that's all about your mind, body, and business. And the keynote speaker for Saturday is going to be Tori Sudan, and she has Tori Sudan shoes. Black Italian shoe designer. She's from Baltimore.
B-Boy is representing. I'm just saying, we are representing well.
And it's going to be a full day on Saturday where we're talking about, like I said, everything from your mind and your body and your business and what to focus on in order to get to that next step and where you know you need to be in life. We have a total of 28 speakers for the weekend. Wow. And Sunday, of course, is going to be our wrap up, and you're our keynote speaker.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, I'll be there with my sweat. Can the speakers wear sweatpants?
You know what? A couple of speakers contacted me, and they were like, well, I know that's the title of the event, but can I wear my sweatpants? Yes, wear your sweatpants. I even have some divas that ask, well, can I wear my heels? Absolutely. Wear your heels and your sweatpants.
Right.
I want you to be comfortable.
Right.
I want you to come. I want you to get the information, because all of the speakers, they each have something that they're providing, and it may not be for everyone, but it may be for you.
Right.
So when you come out, I want to make sure that there's somebody that the attendees can connect with, so that when they leave, they don't just leave with a notebook or notes full of, this is what I heard today. I want them to leave with, okay, this is the next step, and this is who I need to call and I need to connect with in order to get to that point where I need to be.
Yeah, I love that. And so people are just coming comfortable, coming as they are, ready to learn. And so is it primarily business focused?
No, it's not.
It's personal and business.
Yep, it's personal and business, because there are women in there that they don't know if they're supposed to be entrepreneurs or starting a business. They don't know if they're supposed to stay in that relationship that they're in. So they're there to figure out, okay, what is it that I need to be doing so I can find me? Because that's where you have to start with. Until you figure out who you are, know who you are, you can't do all these other things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Knowing self is so vital. And so if people still want to get a ticket, can they still get a ticket? And what's the location again?
The location is the Greenbelt Marriott. And yes, tickets are still available. We have VIP tickets. I do different sales every couple of days. I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw out a sale. I'm going to do a $50 ticket today. Right. So the event is on Facebook, Sweatpants and Chill Retreat. And then tickets can be found at sweatpantsandchill.eventbrite.com, or just find me on Facebook, Latasha Briscoe, and they can find tickets there as well. And
awesome.
So they're definitely out there. I did mention during advertising this show today, I'm going to give away 4 tickets. So those that are watching will get the information. So if you're not watching, you won't get the information, but I'm going to be asking a question once we wrap up, because I need to know who was actually paying attention to the show and all the speakers today.
Right now, you in class. You better pay attention, pay attention. Well, I love it. Again, I've got to give you an additional amount of kudos and props, because you have been so supportive of my events, and you've partnered with me, you've sponsored events, and I'm telling you from just firsthand experience, I love to see somebody who knows that this is their gift and their calling, and they are willing to give before they receive. And if we could get more women to understand the power of, give some stuff. It's okay. It's okay.
Right,
because it comes back. Because every time I need floral, who I'm calling? This is my go-to person. But it's because she demonstrated what she could do by giving first. So she sponsored my event. I'm like, okay, I love your work. I love what you do. Now I have firsthand experience in working with you. So for my anniversary, my husband and I had our anniversay party. 10th, she did our all of our design for that. I did a retreat. Last year, she did the design for that. Like all of my stuff, I'm like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Anytime. She's always my first go-to person. And that's, I believe, how relationships oftentimes are formed. So, you don't want to stay in the giving phase, like, oh, I'm just giving. It's not reciprocal. But you do want to be unafraid to give something and to demonstrate what you can do so that you can sometimes build a relationship, and that can lead to even more business. I know when I first started, again, I did a lot of giving as a speaker. And even now, I don't get paid my full speaker's fee at every speaking engagement, but I understand the law of reciprocity. I understand the law of you give and you will receive. And sometimes you just got to pull yourself out of, it got to be about a check, and just say, I'm going to serve. Today, I'm just going to serve. God's telling me I just need to serve.
Right.
And that's okay. So how can people connect with you and remind them one more time how they can get tickets to the Sweatpants and Chill Retreat?
Yeah, so people can connect with me. I'm on Facebook, Latasha Briscoe, as well as LB Innovations on all social media platforms. My website is lbinnovations.events. And the tickets are available. Like I said, we have a Facebook event page, Sweatpants and Chill Retreats. And tickets are available at sweatpantsandchill.eventbrite.com. And any other questions that people may have, because I know people are still questioning, what is this Sweatpants and Chill? Just send me a message. I'll answer all your questions.
Or if you get on her nerves, she'll let her assistant answer the question.
Somebody will answer the question.
But yeah, just come out, enjoy it. Sometimes you got to put yourself in a different space.
Yes.
And you may not always know all of the answers and all the details of everything, but just give it a chance.
Right.
I think that was the theme of today, is having an open mind. So let's close with these final statements. You cannot build a thriving, profitable brand without
a team.
Amen. To achieve the life of your dreams, you must be willing to
get uncomfortable.
Oh my God, those are my exact words.
Get
That's it.
uncomfortable.
And last but not least, as you're grinding for your next, don't ever forget
where you came from.
Oh, she said it. Bam, drop the mic right there. Look, for the entire month of March, we are giving all of our guests these amazing medals, our service award medals. We're making sure that we are engraving them with their name and hashtag Impact the World. So we want to give this to you.
Wow.
And thank you so much for impacting the world with your unique gift, for being such a gift to me.
No problem.
And I love our relationship, and we'll talk after the show about the other stuff I need from you. So thank you guys for being here. Amazing show. Make sure that you join us here again next Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Impact the World Radio. Thanks for being with us.
Right.
I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say